Stop scrolling. I'm about to show you something that will keep you awake tonight. Right now, floating in the infinite darkness of space, there's a photograph so terrifying that when NASA first saw it, some scientists refused to look. It shows a human being completely alone in the void. No safety line, no connection to anything, just floating in absolute nothingness, 200 miles above Earth. But that's not even the most disturbing thing I'm going to reveal today. There's a rover on Mars that sent us a final message so heartbreaking it made grown astronauts cry. There's a star in our night sky that could explode at any moment and turn night into day for months. And there's a black hole so massive that if you traveled at the speed of light, it would take you over 2 months just to go around it once. I'm going to share space facts that are so mind-bending, so absolutely terrifying and beautiful, that you'll never look at the night sky the same way again. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll discover something about yourself that will change everything you thought you knew about your place in the universe. But first, let me tell you about humanity's most desperate message. A golden record floating through space that might be our species' only chance at immortality. Picture this. It's 1977 and NASA scientists are faced with an incredible decision. They're about to launch 2 spacecraft, Voyager 1 and 2, that will travel further from Earth than any human-made object in history. But here's the thing that keeps me up at night thinking about it. These probes were designed to take advantage of a rare planetary alignment that happens once every 175 years. Think about that. The last time this happened, the United States didn't even exist yet. And the next time, well, none of us will be around to see it. But Carl Sagan and his team realized something profound. What if, billions of years from now, when our sun has burned out and Earth is gone, an alien civilization finds one of these spacecraft? What would we want them to know about us? So they created what I call humanity's greatest time capsule, the Golden Record. And what they put on it will make you emotional. Greetings in 55 languages, including one that says, "Hello from the children of planet Earth." The sound of a mother's heartbeat, a baby crying. Music from Back to Chuck Berry. And 116 images that tell the story of our entire species. Right now, Voyager 1 is over 15 billion miles away from you, carrying this message into the infinite darkness. And here's what haunts me. One day, this might be all that's left of us. But speaking of being alone in the darkness, let me show you the most terrifying photograph ever taken in space. And I need you to really look at this image, because it represents something that should be impossible. This is Bruce McCandless in 1984, floating 100 meters away from the space shuttle with absolutely nothing connecting him back to safety. No rope, no tether, just him, a jetpack, and the infinite void of space. When I first saw this image, I couldn't sleep for days. Can you imagine the absolute silence, the complete isolation? McCandless later said the thing that scared him most wasn't the possibility of drifting away forever.
Bob, can you give us a status check then?
It was how bone-chillingly cold it got the moment he left the shuttle. But here's what makes this even more incredible. This wasn't just a stunt. This was testing technology that would later help astronauts repair the Hubble Space Telescope and build the International Space Station. One man's terrifying leap into the void changed space exploration forever. Now, what if I told you there's a cosmic event so catastrophic that it would create the most beautiful sight humans have ever seen, right before it destroys everything? Picture walking outside tonight and seeing the moon. Now imagine it's twice as big, then 4 times. Then so massive it fills half the sky. This isn't science fiction. This is what would happen if the moon ever fell toward Earth. And here's the terrifying timeline. First, our oceans would go absolutely insane. Coastal cities would disappear under tsunami waves hundreds of feet high. Every satellite in orbit would be flung into space like toys. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions would happen every single day. But then, something magical happens. When the moon gets within 11,000 miles of Earth, our planet's gravity would literally tear it apart, creating the most spectacular ring system in the solar system. Anyone left alive would witness something more beautiful than Saturn's rings. Massive chunks of moon rock creating a shimmering celestial crown around our planet. And every night, the most incredible meteor shower you've ever seen, made entirely of moon dust. But you know what really gets me emotional about space exploration? The story of opportunity. The little Mars rover that could. She was only supposed to last 90 days on Mars. Just a 3-month mission to take some pictures and analyze some rocks. But Opportunity had other plans. For nearly 15 years, yes, 15, she traveled over 28 miles across the Martian surface, powered by nothing but solar panels and sheer resilience. And then came the day that broke hearts at NASA. In 2018, a massive dust storm swept across Mars, blocking out the sun and plunging the rover into darkness. Engineers tried to contact her for months, but eventually, silence. While the rover's actual last communication was a series of technical readings, one NASA reporter poetically summarized its essence in words that echoed across the internet. "My battery is low, and it's getting dark." It wasn't a literal quote, but it captured the heartbreak perfectly. Opportunity never woke up again. But here's what makes me proud to be human. We built something so resilient, so well designed, that it survived over 5,000% longer than expected. On a planet 140 million miles away, a machine we created kept moving forward, exploring, discovering, and proving that even in the harshest conditions, the spirit of curiosity can endure. Now let me tell you about the most mind-bending discovery in modern physics. When two black holes, objects so dense that not even light can escape them, spiral into each other, they create ripples in space and time itself. Think about that. They literally bend the fabric of reality. Einstein predicted this over 100 years ago, but everyone thought we'd never be able to detect these gravitational waves. They're so subtle that they change the length of a 4-kilometer laser beam by less than 1/10,000th the width of a proton. But in 2015, scientists at LIGO detected them for the first time. And when they converted those waves into sound, they heard something incredible. The universe literally chirping as two black holes merged 1.3 billion years ago. We're not just seeing the universe anymore. We're listening to it. In 1990, Carl Sagan convinced NASA to do something unprecedented. As Voyager 1 was leaving our solar system, 4 billion miles from home, he asked them to turn the camera around and take one last picture of Earth. And this is what they captured. Do you see it? That tiny, pale blue dot caught in a sunbeam? That's not just Earth. That's every human who ever lived. Every war, every love story, every dream, every tragedy, all of it happening on a mote of dust suspended in a cosmic ray. Carl Sagan wrote, "Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. This image changes you. It makes our problems seem smaller and our connections to each other seem more precious." But perhaps the most heartbreaking story in space exploration is about a stray dog from Moscow named Laika. In 1957, the Soviet Union was desperate to win the space race, and they needed to know if living beings could survive the harsh environment of space. Laika was probably just happy to have found warmth, food, and care. But the scientists knew something she didn't. This was a one-way trip. They placed her inside a small capsule, barely bigger than a washing machine, and launched her aboard Sputnik 2 into low Earth orbit, just a few hundred kilometers above the ground. What happened next is deeply tragic. The cabin's thermal control system failed. Her heart rate spiked from fear, and within 4 to 7 hours of launch, Laika died of overheating. For decades, the Soviet government claimed she had survived for days. But the truth only came out many years later. Laika's sacrifice paved the way for human spaceflight, but it leaves us with a haunting question. In our pursuit of progress, did we have the right to make that decision for her? Before I show you something that will change your view of our planet forever, let me ask, What color do you think a sunset is on Mars? If you guessed red or orange like Earth sunsets, you'd be completely wrong. And that's the magic of space. It always surprises us. On Mars, sunsets are a deep, mysterious blue. Our rovers, like Curiosity and Perseverance, have captured images of these otherworldly scenes, and they're absolutely stunning. The science behind it? Mars has a thin atmosphere filled with incredibly fine iron-rich dust. Unlike Earth, where blue light is scattered away and sunsets appear red, Martian dust actually lets blue light pass through more easily. And take a close look at the sun in those images. It's small, much smaller than we're used to, because Mars is about 50% farther from the sun than Earth. Imagine watching a tiny distant star set behind alien hills, painting the horizon in cold, dusty blues. It makes you wonder, what do sunsets look like on planets we've never seen? What alien colors light up skies we'll never stand beneath? Speaking of stars, right now, as you're watching this video, there's a massive red supergiant in the constellation Orion called Betelgeuse. It's in the final stages of its life, and when it explodes, and it will explode, it's going to put on the greatest light show in human history. We're talking about a supernova so bright you'll be able to see it during the day. It could cast shadows at night. For weeks, we might have what looks like two suns in the sky. Now here's the part that twists your brain. Betelgeuse is about 500 light years away. So if it had already exploded, we wouldn't know until the light reaches us. Could this happen in our lifetime? Possibly. But most models suggest the explosion will occur sometime within the next 100,000 years. Still, in cosmic terms, that's the blink of an eye. And don't worry, we're far enough away to be completely safe. In fact, scientists estimate a supernova would have to be within 50 light years to pose any real danger to life on Earth. So if and when Betelgeuse finally goes out with a bang, it will be one of the most awe-inspiring celestial events our species has ever witnessed. Black holes are the ultimate cosmic mystery. They're so dense that nothing, not even light, can escape their gravitational pull. So how do you take a picture of something that's literally invisible? The answer is mind-blowing. In 2019, scientists pulled off one of the greatest feats in astronomy. By linking telescopes all over the planet, they created a virtual observatory the size of Earth, called the Event Horizon Telescope. And with it, they captured the first ever real image of a black hole. Not an artist's impression, not a simulation. A real photograph of the glowing ring of matter orbiting the event horizon of M87 star, a supermassive black hole located about 53 million light-years away. The bright halo you see is caused by light bending around the black hole's edge, while the dark center shows the shadow of the event horizon, the point of no return. This achievement was so precise, it's been compared to photographing a grain of sand on the moon from Earth. We didn't just imagine black holes anymore. We saw one. But M87 star isn't the biggest monster out there. In a distant galaxy cluster, astronomers have identified one of the most massive black holes ever discovered. It's located in the Phoenix cluster, and though it's sometimes referred to informally as Phoenix A, the true mass of this black hole is still debated. Some estimates suggest it could be up to 100 billion times the mass of our Sun, a cosmic giant that dwarfs even other supermassive black holes. To understand that scale, its event horizon may span 100 times the distance between the Sun and Pluto. And if you could travel at the speed of light, it would take you over 2 months just to complete a single orbit around it. That's how massive this thing is. Even conservative estimates still place it among the largest black holes ever found, consuming matter at a staggering rate. Entire stars and clouds of gas swallowed like dust. This isn't just a black hole. It's a gravitational titan reshaping the structure of its host galaxy, and possibly altering the evolution of the entire cluster around it. And out there in the silent dark, it's still growing. Let's bring this back to Earth for a moment, because something is happening here that's both beautiful and slightly unsettling. Every single day on Earth is getting longer, and it's all because of the moon. Each year, the moon drifts about 1.5 inches, 3.8 centimeters, farther away from us. That might not sound like much, but it's having a profound effect. As the moon pulls away, Earth's rotation slows down, causing our days to gradually lengthen. 1.4 billion years ago, a single day on Earth lasted just 18 hours and 41 minutes. Can you imagine life moving that fast? And if you could jump ahead a billion years into the future, a day on Earth might last up to 28 hours. That means future humans could sleep for 10 hours and still have 18 left to live their lives. It's like the planet is slowly giving us more time. And here's the poetic part. Every sunset you witness today lasts just a tiny bit longer than the ones your great-grandparents saw. We're living through a cosmic transformation in real time. Now for the most awe-inspiring space fact of all, and it's about you. Every atom in your body, the carbon in your muscles, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, was forged in the fiery hearts of ancient stars that lived and died billions of years ago. Yes, you are literally made of stardust. When people say you're a star, they're not just being poetic, they're being scientifically accurate. These aren't just facts, they're reminders that we are part of something infinitely bigger, older, and more beautiful than we can possibly imagine. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, you're looking at your cosmic family tree. If these stories moved you like they moved me, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. Which space fact blew your mind the most? The universe is waiting. Let's explore it together.